Yo, what up, dudes? Welcome to the video. Today we got another little bit of a win tips and tricks style video from Fortnite about something that I just discovered to be kind of insane, really crazy. Something that's really good. More of a zero building strategy more than a building strategy. You can definitely use it in builds, but it's absolutely nuts in builds. And that's the new buff that just happened, just right now, for the water bending effect in Fortnite. It just got buffed. I believe it was on Friday night. When this is for those wondering later, watching this video later, that was April 5th, I believe. It just got buffed. It's so much better. If you used waterbending before, it was pretty okay. Now it's insane. It's possibly one of the best things to use in the game. We're going to talk about why during this video and how to kind of boost your aim assist and just make it feel insane in this game. So right now I've got the waterbending effect, and this is just a little demo of how good it is at range coming up right here. I heard shots down here below, and check this out, dude. Wait for the guy to be opening from the chest. Boom. You can't do that with any other AR in the game. You can do that with snipers, but another thing about this is they just nerfed sniper rifles into the ground. They basically doubled the drop-off. They drastically decreased the sniper's bullet velocity, and what that does is it makes it really hard to lead your shots with it and actually track people down. So using the waterbending at range now is kind of an OP strategy. So that's one major thing about it. The other thing is that for those of you guys who don't know, Fortnite guns are no longer a hit scan. And what that means for those of you guys who don't know is that a hit scan makes it so that as soon as you shoot your shot, it shows up on the other player basically as damage. And so those tags right there were actually, believe it or not, hit scan. Every other gun except for shotguns in the game right now are not hit scan. They're what's called projectile. So your basically bullet moves through the air as an actual projectile, and that's why when you're using sniper rifles or ARs in the game, you got to look ahead and shoot ahead of where the player is moving to in a hope to basically hit that player. And basically the thought is to have the player kind of run into your bullets. If you ever played a lot of Battlefield, that game is also a projectile-based shooter. If you played PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, games like that, they're all projectile-based guns. Fortnite, for the longest time until this chapter, was all hit scan except for snipers, and now everything is projectile based. But water bending effects have been actually made to be hit scan within a certain range. And in the recent buff of the water bending that happened on Friday, they actually made it so that the range of the hit scan function is 6.5 times longer. Now, the tricky thing you got to get used to is within a certain range, like I said, it's hit scan. As long as you're aimed at the enemy player, you're going to be doing direct damage to them. You're going to be hitting dingers. You're going to be getting good damage in. But past a certain range, it turns into a projectile, and you got to be leading your shot with it. And so it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit of an adjustment, but I think once you can get used to that, you're going to be absolutely dominating with it. And so this guy here tried to cheese me and steal my my Zeus. I did hit him for 96 there, so we're going to chase him up. Sometimes it's a little bit sketchy if you want to chase a guy like this, just because he's going to, have a right side peek established on me, but we were able to win that pretty easily. And so again, here's a little demo. At this range, it's not hit scan. You see I had to kind of lead my shot a little bit, and I think that right there, that distance from that little bot is the limit for projectile-based guns. Now, the only real weakness of the waterbending, in my opinion, is the damage to vehicles. As you can see here, it does okay damage, but if you're using an AR or if you're using snipers, you're going to be doing a lot more damage at once to vehicles as they pass by. Not a big deal in general. I mean, mostly you're just trying to tag people out of the vehicle rather than blow it up. I mean, if you blow a vehicle up, you're only doing 50 damage to the player. In zero build, you're only just taking their overshield off. But it's just something to consider if you're using an AR that is a little bit better than the waterbending effect. But one thing is right now is I've learned from using waterbending is that you can basically use this as a substitute not only for, again, your snipers, but also for your ARs. Honestly, even for SMGs, you can substitute this. It does crazy damage. Basically, we're talking about 40 damage base, and you're shooting these things in a 3-round burst, and you do, I think it's 1.6 times critical multiplier. So if we're doing 40 base damage, that means we're doing it might be 62, 63 damage if you hit them in the head. And so if you hit a triple burst, you're doing pretty much almost 190 damage from one tag. And I think I actually hit that in this video. So this is actually my first time in this video playing with the waterbending effect. I didn't even think it was good. I kind of just expected this to be another crappy Mythic that Epic had added to the game, and I was completely taken off, completely surprised by this. I just kind of expected it to suck. But look at this, 96, 144 from 2 bursts. You can do that right away, and we just did another 132 damage just like that with the Mythic. It's crazy, and I know that was just on a couple bots that Epic threw in my lobby, but they're honestly kind of great for the purpose of this video to demonstrate to you how freaking good this is. Like, it's absolutely nuts. I actually won a ranked game using this. I would have uploaded it, but the audio file kind of corrupted, so I played with no audio, and this is so good. Like, what actually happened? It wasn't really an audio file that corrupted, but my game actually bugged out entirely. My guns just started, like, slamming. And so this is a little bit of a good demo here. I'm fighting a guy with a sniper rifle. He tags me up pretty good. So at this range, it's a little bit dicey, but as we get cover here, I kind of figure out, again, I'm learning how this works. One thing about the waterbending effect is you can't really do a slight peek over like a piece of cover. The way it works is it actually kind of originates from the middle of your body, like the middle of your character's body. So if you say I have a porta bunker, you can't really like look over the porta bunker to shoot it. You kind of got to step to the side. So for using the waterbending effect, you're better off peeking off the right side of objects rather than like going over them, because you're going to have to expose a lot of your body to actually be able to get shots in on other players. But if you do that, if you kind of step to the side, you're going to be able to just absolutely destroy with this thing. And so I think right now, I don't do it in this video, but you can actually free up a slot by getting rid of your AR if you're waterbending. And again, here I'm trying to figure out how to lead the shot, how much I actually need to lead by. But I think you can just dump the AR. As you can see in this video, I don't use it at all. And then, like I said, I played a ranked game using the waterbending ability. I didn't take a sniper, and I didn't take an AR, and I won in ranked at, like, Champs Division in Zero Build. I won a Champs game, and my audio, like I said, was bugged up entirely. I actually couldn't hear anything because the game was just going blah, 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 blah. There's like a really weird bug, or rare bug, where your guns just get kind of stuck. They don't give you any good audio. And it's just like basically your gun is constantly shooting and you cannot hear a thing. So yeah, that's where I was at in a ranked game, and I still managed to win by using the waterbending effect. And speaking of which, another huge advantage of waterbending is you actually get heals in water. I don't really use that in this video, but in that ranked game, I actually kind of, in the end game, I was down to like 30 health, and I was able to constantly go into the water and get refreshes, and it was nuts, dude. It actually worked so good. So I heard a little bit of a shot over here. I third-partied this. I don't even think I killed this guy. I was chasing him down. This is a good demonstration, though, of why it's not the best against vehicles. You probably, yeah, I mean, like, you can try to use it against vehicles. You will get damage in on it, but people will kind of run away faster than you can take them out. Whereas I find with ARs, if somebody's driving away from me, I can oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes kind of get the vehicle to explode before they completely get out of my vision. In this case, when I was using primarily the waterbending, I wasn't able to do it. But look at this. So this guy's running away from me. And so that first shot is hit scan. And then once he gets to this distance, once he gets, I don't know exactly the distance to say it is. It might be like 7 or 8 tiles away. It seems like the hit scan effect goes away and you got to lead your shots. But frankly, being able to shoot directly at a player exactly where they are is amazing. The other thing about it, again, on top of the fact that you got to lead your shots in this game, the waterbending effect goes directly straight. It absolutely does not drop off in the slightest. So that's another thing that makes it really easy to use. Again, it's skill-based because you got to aim exactly at the player. But if you do, it goes exactly where you're aiming. It has absolutely no drop-off whatsoever, and it has really fast, like, travel speed on the, like, I want to call it bullets, but the water effect. So you can basically use it to get people really far away, and if you're playing zero builds and somebody's not moving at all, you can kind of dunk on them from really far away. You can hit like basically a perfect burst on their head and do 100 damage to them before they even really realize what's happening. And in my opinion, it's easier to hit that than the sniper, again, because with a sniper, if somebody's really far away, even if they're not moving at all, if they're like 150 meters away from me, I got to angle up in the air. I got to kind of guess the drop. The drop now is doubled since the nerf. Things just get kind of sketchy. Look at that. 72 damage on this guy. I'm on low ground. I'm in a worse position, but I'm able to hit him for 72 with just one burst. And again, this is the first game using this. I'm still unsure a little bit of how to aim with it, how to lead with it, and we're still just dunking on this lobby. And this is, again, games at night, mostly real players, not very many bots. And we just kind of dunk on this guy. He had the really good medallion, too, the movement medallion, and we were still able to just destroy this dude, man. It was crazy. But yeah, I think the more skilled you are as a player, and I think this is going to be good for everybody, but I think the more skilled you are, the better your aim is, the more rewarding you're going to find this item. You're going to absolutely dunk on people. Coming up on this guy right here, this is a good example of the hit scan range. So we're going to see this dude. We're going to take a few peeks at him. Got a little bit of a 24 damage burst in. Boom, 72 damage, boom. Okay, so now we put pressure on. We jump with the Zeus ability, and those are hit scan shots. I got to just aim right at him. I don't got to worry about leading, and it will hit exactly where I'm aiming. And that's the number one thing. On paper, if you look at the numbers, you're like, this doesn't seem like it's doing that much more damage than ARs. But keep in mind, every single AR in the game right now, you got to have a sight on it just to make it so that it doesn't have bloom. If you don't have a sight on your ARs, you're going to have crazy bloom, and the bullets are going to be going everywhere. And especially early game, when it's so hard to actually get those upgrades. I mean, the bunkers don't open till third zone. So if you get the Waterbending Mythic before then, you're just going to be dunking on everybody. Like, look at this, boom. Boom, hit scan shots on this guy. This guy's running. I shoot a chicken by mistake. I don't even see this guy going to the left. He snipes me, but because I've got height, I can just do these jump shots. And this guy's trying to waterbend at me back, but because I got height on him, I can just hit those jump shots and take them out, dude. It's so freaking good, man. It's absolutely unreal. And I think right now, if snipers were still in the game, it wouldn't really be feeling this competitive. And I know it seems crazy that a Mythic is competitive. I mean, Epic usually doesn't do that. But I honestly feel like if snipers were still nuts and they still had that crazy muzzle velocity and like the ease of use, I wouldn't be saying this right now. But honestly, right now, I highly, highly recommend taking out the waterbending effect. If you use it, if you already think it's OP, let me know in the comments down below. And if you find this video helpful, drop a like on it. Hit that sub if you guys are new. And let me know any tips and tricks you want to see from me in the future. I'm going to just let you guys enjoy the rest of the live gameplay right now from the stream. And I hope you guys have an absolutely awesome freaking day, dudes. Let's go, baby.
Maybe it's just the haters. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where you at, brother? Dude, this is actually really good. Like,